Just some flapping about my limited space again. Good morning, YouTube, here on a Friday. 11:36 is the time. I thought we would take a look at some possibilities for where I am going to put this B&K Model 970 radio analyst. And the most likely spot is where I'm pointed at right here. And obviously that is occupied. And I went to pretty great lengths to get all that in there like that, and so I'm not really sure I want to change all that. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm just not sure. I do have other space available here. Let me turn around just a little bit more, and we can see over here. Now this shelf here is a good possibility, and I'm leaning towards this location here. Of course, that would mean getting the condenser checker moved somewhere else, which that's not a big deal. I don't think I've ever really used that, to tell you the truth. It could go up above. It's not a big deal. I built these shelves primarily for storage, but I also had in mind at the same time that it might be good for overflow on my test equipment. So that's the thoughts there. So I might try to do that. Now that would mean my charging station here, which that can be moved anywhere. That's not a big deal. And the rest of the stuff is again storage. Those are those two transformers I bought some time ago and probably will never use. My tube manual, some books on transistors and things, and other stuff, and that charger there is for a battery. So you know, those things can obviously be moved out and changed around. Now this thing is, let's see, give an idea how wide it is. I want to say close to 16 inches wide. So if we look here, that would put it around this area here for how long it is. Now it probably won't fit up underneath that, so it'd probably have to go through there, so it'd probably be like that. So that's going to take up most of that bench, or that shelf right there, I think. And I think that's probably my best bet on where to put it. I can't think of anywhere else that it would go. I haven't even measured the height of this thing, so it may not even be able to fit under there. Let me check that real quick. Looking about 9 inches maybe. 9 inches is just a little over 9 inches. That's going to fit in there perfectly as far as the height. But man, I tell you what, it's going to be tight. So, like I said, that's not a big deal. The VOM I probably won't use much. That reminds me, somebody brought up the point that I didn't check the transistor checker, and I admit I didn't do that, but I probably will do that sometime in the near future. That's not a big deal to me as far as whether it works or not, but you know, I probably will check it. And I want to apologize for not being able to get this in the picture better yesterday when I did the video. I didn't show very good, and I knew I wasn't showing it, but there was a reason for that. Let me show you here. Turn around. Now the picture you're seeing now is pretty good indication of how far I can go with this, the camera boom, and having this. This is all, you know, cattywampus right now, but if I set it straight like that, now I can see that pretty good. But like I said, I'm at my limit, and as far as me getting in here to work on stuff, it's a little bit difficult, but not impossible. So I apologize for missing that yesterday, but I could have got a much better shot at this, and I didn't do that. But like I said, I'm still working on this camera boom thing, and trying to get the best I can do with it. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not, and sometimes I forget. I think that was my case yesterday. I just forgot to get everything in the shot. So, but anyway, that's that's what we're looking at. Yeah, I'm going to clean this up, and I do have the caps ordered, as I said. So that will be probably the next item to do. And the caps will probably be in pretty quick because I ordered from DigiKey, and they usually come in pretty quick. So now, like I say again, you know, I would like to have this available. That's bent too. But I would like to have this available for radio alignments, things like that. I think this would work very well for that. I don't know that it would, but it might. You know, I never thought about this. I don't think there's, that's just a DC voltage, I believe. So I don't know how you could even use that for AC. I don't know. I'll have to check that out, but I don't think it is. But anyway, like I said, it's not big, not one way or the other. It's not a big deal. But also, I didn't check out the bias supply, which comes out here. Now, the bias supply on this, I don't know if I mentioned that, but basically, whatever voltage range you're on, like we're on 9 volts right now, you on this bias range here, which is this middle adjustment here, you have a 0 to 9 volts. Is what comes out of this bias tap right here. That's the way that worked. Whatever voltage you're on, if you were on 12 volts like that, it would be 0 to 12 volts is your range on the bias. It's just basically a big resistor between the two lines and a big adjustable potentiometer, whatever you want to call it, and that's what that works. Now this I haven't. Like I said, this must be part of the transistor checker part. I'm missing a knob there for sure. I'm not crazy about these knobs. As long as it's easy to switch things like that, it's okay. But these over here, well, like I said, that one's the one that's got a little gumminess to it. Not all that bad. It's just my fingers don't work very good, so. But I didn't check the audio output, but I'm sure that works because the modulator was working. And like I said, this is a unique piece of equipment, and I would like to use it more for, you know, like I said, my other signal generator is a little more versatile as far as what the output of it, but I think this was for radio work. This is enough, you know. So, you know, there's always a possibility I could move the signal generator over, but then I think I would probably use it more, and especially the frequency counter, than I would the this. I don't know. We'll see. I could always put it up above, but I worked hard getting that set up there for the meters up there, and I've got my Toyota radio sitting up there too. But that can be moved. Like I said. If I put it, I'm going back over here again. If I put it over here, get over here, then, you know, it would be handy, easy to get to everything. But at the same time, you know, I just don't really want to move all that stuff out again. I don't know. If I could get the signal generator and other stuff all in the same thing with the multimeter and the fluke meter up above it, that would be a good deal, but I don't think that's going to be enough room to get all that stuff up there. Now I'm looking at the other side now. That monitor takes up so much room. There's not really a lot of room on that side to do anything. So really, I'm kind of SOL on this as far as where I can put it, and pretty much limited to this spot right here, and at least for the time being. And unless somebody else has got a better idea, I don't know where else I could put it. I'm trying not to get too much stuff wire strung across here, because, you know, that limits me too as far as my storage area. You know, you can't get to everything because there's wires across there. I'd have to fix up some kind of thing where the wires stayed there in the center some way, and that would probably be the only way I could do that. Looking at the shelf above there, that's actually another possibility. It's a little bit wider opening, I do believe, up there. and I don't know. I don't really have any. Most of that stuff is, it's I started to say junk, but it's not junk. It's just stuff that I couldn't put anywhere else because I didn't have any room for it. But like I say, there's always places to put stuff like that if you really need to find stuff. I'm thinking there because that would put the wiring up a little bit higher, and being able to come down like this center section like I want to do it. I'm thinking about maybe a conduit type of setup there with some PVC pipe or something like that. That might be a better way of doing it. That would keep all my wires down below everything and keep them from being strung from here to there. It's just a thought. Always thinking, but right now I'm trying to get that camera straightened out. All right, I can see I'm up to nearly 12 minutes. In fact, it is past 12 minutes. I don't know. I really don't know. I just it's just gonna have to be thought of, I guess, and a lot of thinking on it. And I was looking up above. There's places up there, but I can't reach anything up there. That's the problem with putting anything up there. Also, the top of my there's another possibility. I never thought about that. Let's look up here a second. Okay, there's the point I was looking at. This right hand section up here, going around through here. You could probably put up a shelf there and set that up there. Of course, that would block the monitor then if I did that. And it's not easy to get to the I can reach it if I'm up against the bench, like I should be. I'm sitting about a foot out away from the bench right now. But I could reach it if I had to. But having to get down lower would be better, obviously. The DC dual DC supply, move it out, move it. Move that out. Move that the tester in that, and that would take up most of the bench on that side. But at least it would be available there, and it would be in a good spot. Really, that would be an ideal spot if I could get it back off the bench a little bit more. But really, kind of limited, to the space I have there. That would give me about half of the bench if I push that back against the wall there, as far as the back of the wall of the bench, and move that receptacle and that dual DC power supply out. I could probably get it back in there pretty good. Of course, that would limit some other spots too. And my nut drivers would probably have to be moved because I think they'll be hanging down too low then. And my outputs and inputs for the bench amp probably have to be moved. So that's not a good alternative at all. So like I say, I'll just keep thinking. I'll come up with something eventually, but I have no idea what it's going to be. See, I didn't turn my soldering iron off yesterday. That's one of the reasons I love to have that power on, master power on switch, because when I turn that off, I'm confident that everything's off. I don't have to worry about leaving things on. And so that's that. All right. Well, like I said, now I'm up to 15 minutes. I know this is not much of a video, but I just wanted to come back and address a couple of problems that I had. And this Canon camera is good. It's nice, but it's heavy compared to my Sony and Kodaks, and it just doesn't have a lot of support there on that little this little tiny tripod holder. It doesn't seem to want to stay where I put it. I try to just let it be tight enough to where I can move it around, or at the same time I can switch it around if I need to. But that's working pretty good, so I'm happy about that. Alright, well, I guess that's about gonna do me. Not much of a video, I understand, but just some of my dilemmas here that I had made comments on this. replies to comments, I should say, on this is going to be my next challenge on where in the world I'm going to put this thing. And that's really pretty much how I'm looking at this right now. I understand that it's not going to be that hard to fix and clean and things like that, but you know, and if I make use of it, which I really want to, because I really like having everything in one spot. I was so blown away that everything works as well as it does, and not going to take a lot of work to get it done. And like I said, just some cleaning, and that really, you know, that's another thing. I don't really have to clean it. It works as is, obviously, but I just want to, and I think you'll understand that. Just that top of that chassis is really the only part that needs cleaning. And let's turn this around again, take a look at it. I know this is long, but not so long that you you know, this is just pure dirt, grime, whatever you want to call that. There's really not a lot to say about it. There's some rust in here. Now somebody suggested navel jelly. I might have to get some of that and try that. But just most of this is just needs to be cleaned, I think. I was thinking simple green, something like that would be a good idea. Now for this area here, I thought about taking my paintbrush, or maybe even a stiffer brush that with the vacuum cleaner running at the same time, and brush all that dust off there. And I really think that's good enough for that. I've told Bob I didn't think I would probably send that to him, because I'm, you know, not going to end up going as far as I thought I was going to go with this. The rest of it, like I said, I'm not going to mess with the adjustments if they're working. The cap here, somebody suggested restuffing that. I doubt that I'll do that. I'll probably take that off. I'll have it in case I want it. The cap I'm getting to replace this is not near as big, obviously. They make them smaller these days. And so that's that. Wiring, really not much you can do with it. It's not really bad shape, it's just dirty. I'll just scrape this off. You can see right there. I might spray that down with some kind of cleaner, or just try to wipe it off. But you can see it comes off. It's just dirt. And that's pretty much the whole thing here is dirt. The few spots that are rusty, like I said, I could put navel jelly on them, or just, I've also thought about painting, sanding it down and painting it, repainting it. I think this is a painted chassis. I'm pretty sure it is. Here's a look at the new fuse holder, and it's in there. So that's pretty much like this one. So that one's loose. Well, I guess I didn't tighten it. That's odd that it worked as well as it did. Anyway, the fuse I ordered here are a little bit slightly smaller than this. I'm hoping it will work. But they were only 21 cents a piece, I think. I think I got 5 of them for $1 on my DigiKey order. And they, instead of being 7/8 long, I think they're 20 millimeters. Instead of 1/4 inch diameter, I think they're 5 millimeters. So I think they will work. I believe that will hold them good enough. There is a spring tension on the back of this, I do believe. And if not, I can always stick something down in there, make a little something to give it a little more room if I have to. I don't think I will, though. I think it'll work just fine. But I did want to replace that, get the proper fuse in there. That's 7.5. It's a little bit stiff for this, I think. On this deal here, the rectifier, probably it can be taken off pretty easily. I probably will do that, clean underneath of that. Transformer doesn't look bad. Really, maybe some cleaning on it. I see a lot of cobwebs on this wiring. You know, I'll obviously clean those off as best I can. And again, that's really all I'm going to do. That's going to be my whole goal with this. Now this choke, I could probably unbolt that and drop it down and clean that real good. But I don't really think I'll have to. I think I can get to just about everything I need to there. Maybe wipe this paper down with something, get the dust off of it. Same with the power transformer. But it's just on the top. The bottom side looks fine. And get in here as best I can. Now there's some wire, laying here and stuff. But like I said, it's not impossible to clean this up without taking it apart. But it might be a little bit difficult. But we'll just do the best we can. That's all we can do. That's all a mule could do. That's what my grandmother used to say. You guys have a wonderful day. Sorry this drug on so long, but you know how I like to flap. And if you don't, you should. I noticed that the what do you call it? The LED, or not LED, the pilot light doesn't shine very brightly. It's a neon bulb, and I left this on yesterday. It was plugged in, and I just happened to go through when it was dark and see it, when it was on, and I went ahead and shut it off. But that's one of the things about my power switch. It does not turn the power off to the receptacles. So I kind of have to watch that when I leave things plugged in. Like this radio over here is plugged in, but it's off. So it's not a big deal. But anyway, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all she wrote. I was thinking about you guys. I know what you're saying. You're saying he won't ever shut up. I was just thinking about something else. Okay, give me a break. This front panel now, I would like to have that off. Alright, looks like it's looking like about 25 minutes is my limit on this Canon. Odd time, but whatever. I was thinking about this front plate here. Now, I don't know how hard it's going to be to take it off, but at least take the knobs off and get cleaning. I've got a couple of bends in it. I'm going to try to straighten those if I can without taking it off, and I'm hoping it will work out. But if I can get that done and get this clean, it's really not that dirty. If you look at it, it's really not that bad at all. This bias jack here is broke at the bottom, but it's not a big deal. I doubt that I can get a blue one, but I'm not going to order a blue one just for that purpose. I might have a different color that I could use, but I do have some of those to use for that. But like I said, I'm not going to worry about it too much. But anywho, that's about going to do me. You guys, like I said, I've done this before, but I'm doing it again. Shoot. Trying to see if I can get this whole thing in one shot. That's about it right there. Let me take it out. This is as far as this thing will go, right there. All right, I'm sitting back with my neck back so I can get this all in. But there's a view of the whole front end of it, and that looks pretty nice, I think. But I'm happy with it, and very pleased that it does work as well as it does. So you guys, also I'm going to put I know I'm doing it again. I'm going to put I forgot to do this when I did the video, but I made this chart with these voltages on this DC power supply, with the voltages that actually are present at each level. In other words, 15, I have the voltage here, and 12. And I did find out now why I didn't get the 6 volt or the 7.5. I thought there was supposed to be a 7.5, but it goes from 6 to 6 auto to 9. It skips the 7.5. So probably not a big deal. I don't think there's not very many stuff that operates on 7.5. But anyway, that's why I got screwed up on that. When I was thinking, because I think the manual says it goes from 1.5 to 15 in 1.5 volt increments, and of course that's not true. So, all right, gonna quit talking, shut my mouth. It's 12:02 now. It's afternoon. So, like I say, you guys have a wonderful day, And I do appreciate you watching, even though I'm not saying much. So I did have, I know I'm saying, I did record the journey yesterday, going to see Mom. And just in case I don't do any more video on that, I did a lot of videoing, but I don't know that I'll use it. I took my way going there, which was going to go through Austin, like I had outlined before. That took 48 minutes to get there, and I took the GPS route back over that curvy 250, and it screwed me up a couple times, but it's not a big deal. I got where I was going. It took 45 minutes, so it was quicker by 3 minutes, but and that's another thing. I may put this video of me driving over 250 and speed it up. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bill, if I put this video up, you won't want to watch it because it will be sped up. And this will make you sick for sure. I know it will. And I may just put it at normal speed. I probably would make you sick there. But to tell you the truth, I was driving as quickly as I could. I won't say speeding, but I was driving as fast as I could push it to give it a fair break as far as seeing if it was actually quicker or whatever. If I would have drove at a normal speed, probably I would have said, you know, that would have been comparable to the same time I took, you know, the other way. Probably it would have added 3 minutes or so. So, you know. So anyway, like I said, you can get there faster if you have to. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Alright, like I say, I'm just going to shut up. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we will see ya.